Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Paseka Jane Kabase and I'm a South African. So today I'll be making you a video and then telling you of my experience as a South African in Nigeria. I've been seeing a lot of people maybe posting videos, especially Nigerians, about their experience in South Africa, their culture shock and all that. So I said, okay, let me also make a video because I've not seen any South African giving a perspective of their experience in Nigeria. So to make the long story short, I went to Nigeria in 2016. I think it was about October. When I went there, it was a church conference and I decided to go to Nigeria. And then I was still a student, a final year student, if I still remember well. And at TUT, Tshwane University of Technology in Pretoria. And in October, I went there. So I want to start first by telling you that if you want to go to Nigeria and South Africa, from South Africa to Nigeria, you have to get a visa. It's not like Botswana, the SADC countries, Zimbabwe, and Namibia, where you can just go, maybe you just present your passport. No, you have to get a visa and you pay for the visa. And I paid about 3,000 rand, I think, or somewhere there, or 2.8, 2.9 for the visa. That's how much I paid for the visa. And then I also had to buy a flight ticket. So when we went there, we used SAA, and then we paid about 6,000, maybe 800 somewhere there for a return ticket, meaning to go and come back. I would say maybe to go was about 3.5, maybe coming back 3.5, something like that. So yes, I bought my visa, bought my ticket, and then went to Nigeria. But then there was one thing that happened. We knew that when we get there, the hotel was already booked for us, or I would say a B&B, whatever it is, but that place where we slept, I would say maybe a hotel, was already booked for us when we traveled to that place. So I just had to have money, to buy my own food and all those kind of stuff. So guess how much I had? I had only about 350 in my account, in my South African account. Remember, then I was a student, didn't have a lot of money. So I only had about 350 and about 100 rand as cash, meaning in total I had about 450 rand going to Nigeria. That I thought, okay, this is gonna cover for my food. Remember, and then the food, we went there for a week, so it had to cover the food for that week, So we landed in Nigeria, and as we landed at the airport, there's one thing that caught me by surprise. Guess what it is? The heat. The heat in Nigeria cannot be compared to any heat I've ever experienced in my life, So Nigeria was very hot, As soon as I got off the flight and I entered the airport, there was this heat that just hit me. I said, Lord, will I be able to survive in this place for a week? That's one thing. It was very hot. Nigeria was very hot. That was my experience. Even when it's raining, it was still hot. In the rain, it was still hot. So they told us that there's a season called Hamatan or something like that. I'm not sure if it was that season then or not, but then they say it's a bit colder. But they said nothing, those who know South Africa said nothing compared to the cold in South Africa. You can see now I'm also wearing a jacket because it's cold where I am. I'm currently living in Cape Town, So it was very, very hot. That was one thing that I experienced as I got to the airport, and we were there at the airport waiting for someone, and then they came, and then they had to buy a SIM card for us and all those things so that you can use our phone in a foreign country, So he asked us if we had any money, and I had that 900 rand, So I gave him the 100 rand, and I tried to use my card. I gave him my card. He said my card was not working. I tried to use my card. My card was not working, in a foreign country, because I didn't report to my bank in South Africa when I left that I'm gonna go to another country and I needed to use my card there. So there was a problem, Yeah. So I didn't inform my bank that I'm going to a foreign country. So my card didn't work there. Now I had to rely on 100 rand for the whole week. So I gave the person to go and change the money for us. Guess what? I think South African rand is about 1 to 25, meaning 1 rand is about 25 naira. So with that 100 rand, the person was able to buy a SIM card for me, buy what is it? Buy data for me and give me the change, from my money. And guess what happened? And then we went, and then as we went, he took us to a restaurant. We got food, and there was another surprise. The food was super hot. It had a lot of pepper. Because for me, I was hungry and I like blah blah blah. So what happened is that I ate my food. The other people that I was with, we went to the conference with, they couldn't finish their food, but I tried my best to try and finish. I tried my best to finish because I was very, very hungry, because the food they give in a flight, it doesn't do anything to your stomach. So I tried to eat, and then they give you water. Nigerians, they eat there and then they have a glass of water because of the pepper. That's why we don't drink water when we eat, because we don't eat the pepper, or if we eat it, not a lot like they do in Nigeria. So I think the meat was like jollof rice with some beef or meat or something like that, or goat meat, I don't know, but it was red meat. So that was my experience with food. So we went to the hotel, and another experience is that it was very hot. You could not sleep without an aircon in Nigeria. So the aircon was on, and then it was at least making the room cool, and then we slept there. It was great. We could sleep because of the aircon. So in the morning we wake up, obviously we're there for a week, and then we go to church, and then we had to use transportation. They came to pick us up, but as we got used to things, then we started to want to experience the Nigerian transportation system. So we started to use keke, that 3-wheel car. We don't have a lot of them in South Africa. Maybe in a city you can see 1 or 2, you see. So, and also they have bikes, but I didn't use the bike. We also don't have that in South Africa, like maybe people transporting people with bikes. So we used KK, and then sometimes they dropped us at church, and all that, and they booked a taxi for us to drop us at the hotel, at church, and stuff like that. So that's what happened. So the food, I said, was very hot. And another thing is that, guess what happened? I could survive the whole week with that 100 rand. I'm not sure in Naira how much was it that time, maybe 2,500 or 3,000 naira. I'm not sure how much it was, but I could survive for the whole week with that 100 rand. I bought food and drink Fanta. They like Fanta and malt in Nigeria. Fanta and malts. You see, Oga. So that's what happened. I could buy Fanta, malt, buy food, rice and stew and all that. So, and then another thing also at the end, the last day we had a gala dinner. We had to experience Nigerian food. There was a lot of them. They'll tell you that you cannot eat this one with this one. For us as South African, food is food. You can eat it anything if you want. They'll tell you, no, you cannot eat swallow with this. You cannot eat this one with this one. Pepper leaf, what, bitter leaf is this. And then this soup, you eat it with this soup. Say, food is food. Just put it in your stomach as long as it's nice. For me personally, I like Nigerian food. Even though I don't like to eat it every day, because after that week I missed South Africa, I missed pap, I missed our South African food, and all that. So that's what happened. You see, so but once in a while, living here in South Africa, I sometimes visit a Nigerian restaurant to just buy maybe some swallow and egusi, and then all that. You see, so that's what happens. And then yes, I could spend the whole week with that 100 rand and eat from that 100 rand. But remember, I was only buying food for myself, maybe, and one of my brothers, maybe, and all that, and maybe that was only during the day. But at night, most of the time it's either we'll buy food or they will bring food for us, at the hotel, you see. So that's what happened. So it was only during the day, but for the whole week, in South Africa, it's gonna be very difficult for you to do that, depending on the area where you are and how much the food is. Maybe you could eat it for 2 or 3 days and then it's finished, but I could survive. Remember, I bought SIM card, I bought airtime with that money, and I could still survive. So I spoke of the weather, I spoke of the food and the currency. The other thing is the people. The people were very welcoming, for us coming from South Africa, they welcome very well, And then another thing is the traffic in Nigeria is crazy. If you want to go to a place and maybe it's going to take you 20 minutes to go there, you must leave 2 hours before, because you're going to spend time on traffic. Beep, 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 beep. And it's noisy. Some people don't follow the rules of the road, and all that. So you just have to leave early. I remember now when we were going back to the airport, that's what happened. I think, let's say our flight was about 10 o'clock at night. We left 10 o'clock at night, but we had to leave, I don't know, around 6 or 7 going to the airport. And the airport is not far from where we are. By the way, we were in Lagos, Ikeja, And when it comes to the development, obviously, some parts are not so developed. But some parts of Lagos, especially where we went for the gala dinner, was a nice place. I think they say it's Banana what Island or what. I'm not sure about that. It was still in Lagos, Nigeria, But the other part was not so developed, but that other side was very, very nice. It was the only problem for me obviously was the heat in Nigeria. That's why I decided that I don't think I can live in Nigeria, not because of the country or anything, but because of that heat, So and another thing with the heat is that it's hot and also it's humid. That's where the problem is. For us in South Africa, can get hot in South Africa, but at least the air is dry. You can breathe well. Like it's not so uncomfortable. Maybe for me as a South, I'm not used to that kind of weather. Yeah, but thank you guys for watching till this far. Remember to subscribe and click on the notification bell, and see you on my next video. Next time I'm gonna come here with my wife, and I'm married and then I have a little daughter, and I'm gonna come with my wife, and then we're gonna just do some things, and hopefully you'll love it. Click on this subscribe button, guys, and then I love you. Douche. And I hope to visit Nigeria again next time, but this time I just want to visit there as like a tourist, just to see some places, especially around Lagos, maybe vlog, and then visit other African countries, and all that. So guys, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Thank you.